And so after lunch and learn, you will literally be watching me eat lunch, and we will be learning about BDSM. Welcome everyone. So actually for a change, I have a topic for today's thing. Oh, I guess I should introduce myself. Hi, my name is Domina Chase, and you are on the humanistic BDSM, which we contracted to Hubadism, Lunch and Learn. So what do we do? So this is a weekly event that happens during my actual lunchtime at work. So that's why you'll see that there is an hour posted, but it's not for the whole hour, and it usually starts late, so it's going to be 10 to 15 minutes within that window. Happens every Wednesday. These are recorded, and I put them in our Facebook group so that you can watch them at your leisure. So that's just what I like to do. So this is what I have for lunch today. It's leftover pizza, but I made it a little healthier with some microgreens and some baby sweet peppers here. So I'm going to be just snacking on that, like uh, Iron Chef style. If you ever watched the original Japanese Iron Chef. So I'm really excited because today we actually have a topic, and today's topic is about how to balance, a 24/7 BDSM dynamic with your real life. Like, what does that look like? What if you're busy? How do you manage that? So, the first thing is just seems simple, but it's prioritization. You just have to, you and your partner or partners just need to sit down and say, this is something important to us. And the reason why you need to start there is that way, when you're negotiating, there's no hurt feelings. It doesn't feel like a demand. You are now establishing this baseline that this is a desire I have. I want to be 24/7, and BDSM is really important to me. So I need your help. That's how this works. So the second part is that negotiation. What does that negotiation look like? With any negotiation, when it comes to a long-term, like ongoing established relationship, I don't necessarily mean romantic, it can just be within this dynamic, is that you definitely want to come to that any relationship actually, negotiation, excuse me, as equals. So the whoever is the bottom needs to be able to say this is, to veto anything that they don't want, or even the dominant, and also to, so that you don't have that fear of, that's something that hear a lot. It's like, oh, I don't want to be charged of topping from the bottom, that's a completely different thing. So I think that because it is so damaging to top from the bottom when you're trying to take control as the submissive or as the bottom, um, it can be very damaging to the dominant and to the dynamic. That's why it is taboo. It's really not cool. But I think that sometimes now it's been conflated with submissives wanting to express themselves and their desires and their negotiations. I think, anecdotally, I feel that there are some less than ethical dominants and tops who have used the phrase topping from the bottom to gain an upper hand and to disenfranchise, frankly, take away power from the submissive. That you are valid. You are allowed to say what your boundaries are and ask for things. Because remember, there's a difference between asking for things, suggesting things, and then demanding them. So that's the clear delineation between topping from the bottom and stating your stating what you want, not that. So now what's this third step? So we just say it's a priority. Two, negotiate. So three, what does it really look like, Domina Chase? Like, okay, great, it's awesome. I want to do this, but what do I actually do? I have only so many hours in the day. I have responsibilities. I have a job. Exactly. So the way that I have found that works for me and even some other friends that are in 24/7 dynamics is basically you want to create a background hum of BDSM. And I'm hungry. Sorry, I need to take a bite. I love this topic, so I just realized I just haven't taken a bite yet, and I'm very hungry. So, what does a background hum look like? What is that? What does that mean? So, the way that I coach and that the way I practice 24/7 BDSM is I have what I call standard operating procedures. So the standing orders, sorry. There's two different things. Standing operating procedures and standing orders. So standing orders. Standing orders are things that just automatically happen without interaction. That or without any prompting. So by this point, my pet and I, we've been together 4 years. So sometimes our standing orders are a little bit more esoteric. And what does that mean? So it's what I have charged him is that I want him to move through life being the best pet possible. Because if he's doing well as a pet and as a person, as a friend, as a colleague, as a parent, all of these things, whenever he reflects that excellence, not just doing good, excellence, it reflects well on me. I just tell him, like, you can't be a shitty person because, well, then they're gonna think if you're a crap person, they're gonna think like, oh, he's an owner, he's a dominant. Oh, what is she like if he's all messed up? So no, can't do that. So that way, anything that he does throughout the day has that intentionality of being for me. Even if I'm not there, even if I don't see every little tidbit, it comes out in, again, at work, just that intentionality. Are you are you being gracious? Are you being helpful? Are you being smart? Are you being dedicated? So that's what I think sometimes it has that conflict of, oh my gosh, I really want to do this BDSM thing, but I have a real life. So that real life can feed the BDSM. They don't always have to be in contrast to one another. It actually can feed one another. Um, so that's what he does is throughout the day, when he does something, he'll text me, he did something good, and he's like, "Oh, I was a good pet today, owner. This is what I did at work." And I'm really excited for him. Granted, this is partially because we do have a long-term relationship, but I think that's a good purpose, that just to have that idea of, oh my gosh, everything I'm doing, like this report, this Excel spreadsheet that I just made, whatever your job is, you can do it to that point of excellence as if you were doing it for your dominant. And same thing of, for me, like I actually said, like, I don't want to be a crap owner. Like, what if I'm a bad owner, if I'm a bad person, like, oh, you have a sub, someone wants to listen to you, gross, like, ew, like, you're you're completely messy. Actually, I am kind of messy, but professionally, people don't know that. I do pretty good at my work. So that's how you can have that underlying thing. So, what about those protocols? What happens through the day? So, kind of need to figure out what your dynamic is, what you like. You're going to be long distance because you're at work or you just are long distance. Um, Different ways that I've seen this is that, if you like more control, like your submissive needs to, I don't know, take a break at the 17th, like the 17th minute of the hour, not 15, not 18, not 20, 17. So you can slip in these small bits of play throughout the day that is subtle, that doesn't infringe on anybody else's rights. I don't necessarily think it's good for you to go to your work bathroom and flog yourself. Maybe if you work from home, sure, that's okay. That might be something that you do. But have that rhythm, have that something that you do during the day. For me and my pet, because my pet's schedule is quite varied. Um, no 2 days are alike, so we can't really have those like time triggered things. But I have definitely done this with other submissives in the past. So with him, it's it's actually something physical. Is that I have what I call his travel leash. So he has his collar, he has a leash, and it's just a leather loop, keychain loop that he keeps on his belt, and he keeps it as travel leash. And um, when I tell him when he's having a hard time, when he's stressed, because we all have those days, those moments, to recenter themselves. That you can touch, you can pet, like take a break and pet, like physically, like pet your leash when you just wish that you need to take a break, take a breather, because that's what I feel like I offer um, in my dynamic. When that 24/7 dynamic is that it gives my partner a chance to say, when he feels like everything is going wrong, when things are just a disaster, you know what? I'm a good pet. Bottom line, I'm a good pet. If nothing else goes right today, I'm a good pet. That's it. So, um, so I think that's what it comes down to. I think since the question was how to do 24/7 within that real dynamic, these are ideas that you might propose to your dominant, like think of how um your day goes and the rhythm of your day, and let them know, um and then talk to your dom. Both of you see what is your connection. Is it pain? Is it humiliation? Is it taking power away? Is it humiliation? What is that? So find some, a way that's like you can be easily hidden by vanilla. Man, I just love this topic. I need to take another bite. um, I'm gonna need some microgreens too because this shit's awesome. Mm, 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 mm. Build your day that way and your protocols, and have a check-in. Some people like text. So I think that being 24/7 is, I obviously, we have these fantasies of like just being like stuck in a cage, and you excuse me, you give them like a little metal doggy bowl and like the water dispenser on the side, and they're just there all day. And it's a good fantasy, and maybe that's something that you can do for a day or maybe a weekend. But that's not, unless you have just mountains of money, that's not something you're going to be able to do just 24/7, 7 days a week, keeping them in a cage. That's just not possible. And it's going to stall them and their career and their life, you know um so it all comes down to, one, saying it's priority. Like, tell them, communicate to each other, this is a priority. Two, negotiate as equals, because this is a long standing, ongoing dynamic that you're establishing. 3, find, you know, sneaky ways to like scratch that itch of like play and protocol that doesn't interfere with your vanilla life. Because yes, BDSM is fun, and I mean, I I am 24/7. I live, breathe BDSM. Even when I'm in a meeting, even when I'm on a phone call, I am still Domina Chase. I brush my teeth as Domina Chase. I go to sleep as Domina Chase. And I think that's actually what the 24/7 dynamic should be, is to give each partner or partners that feeling of I am always in a scene. So that's it. I hope this was helpful. Excuse me. I hope this was helpful. Check back again here. Same lunch hour, it'd be 10-15 minutes. Hubidism Lunch and Learn. We are going to be like snipping these up, and hopefully you'll see these on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. We are on all of those channels, so please make sure that you follow, and also, but the best value I think is to join our community on Facebook. It's Humanistic BDSM Inclusive AF Kink, because there you'll get to interact with one another, with not the moderators. We have a very vibrant community. It's a very safe place. So much so that I'm always regularly surprised when someone steps out of line. About 80% of the time, someone within the community who is not a moderator will be like, whoa, look, you're not allowed to do that. That's not how we do things here. So, also to want to let you know that yes, we accept brand new Facebook accounts that are that are anonymous. You just make sure you need to answer all the questions correctly, because that's how we keep everyone safe. All right, so that's enough promo for now. Make sure that you comment if there was further questions, because I think this was made it so easy, and I've been blabbing on for much longer than I intended. Um, so I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so join us. I'm so glad that you're here. Oh, that's right. Comment, or one of our intrepid viewers, what they did was, instead of directly messaging me, which you're not allowed to do, they actually just posted in the group a question, and that's how we have this video. So feel free to utilize that. That's totally legit. And I think that's it. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy your week and that you actually get to eat your lunch. See you around. Be safe. Bye.